I think it's pretty safe to say that when we examine the Star Wars sequel trilogy, a lot of fans had a lot of issues with The Last Jedi, and especially with The Rise of Skywalker by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Episode 9 is that we do know that this movie, at the end of the day, really was the culmination of the Skywalker saga. It was a film that was all set to really end things, and a lot of fans had issues with exactly how it was all executed by JJ. Now, mind you, I myself believe it was a decent Star Wars movie with a lot of scenes that I hated and enjoyed. It's really hard to say. It's like an emotional roller coaster watching this movie, as I usually like to actually say. So, when we look at Episode 9, obviously everything beyond this movie, Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on their new trilogy, their new universe. However, one thing is for certain is that a lot of fans have been very curious about what could have been before the reshoots and the rewrites for Episode 9 back in late 2019. Now, in case you guys are unaware, a lot of reshoots took place in August, September, and October of 2019. That was the second phase, and there was also some rewrites and reshoots in late 2018 in November and December. It's one of the main reasons as to why we did not get the official trailer around Christmas time of 2018 and how it was delayed until April at Star Wars Celebration. That was almost 1 year ago. Isn't that crazy? So, when we look at everything here for Episode 9, what's rather intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the sequel trilogy and are moving on to the new Star Wars trilogy and their new Star Wars universe as well, fans have been very curious and worried about the future of the franchise by Lucasfilm. Episode 9 was said to be by far the most difficult production out of all the Disney Star Wars films, and that many reshoots took place during 2019 that led to a series of deleted scenes. One of which took place on the world of Ahch-To that involved both Luke's Force Ghost and Rey, where it's explained that one of the scenes that were deleted involved Rey going inside of Luke Skywalker's hut on Ahch-To and finding his green lightsaber hilt where she would actually gently take it off on one of the stone shelves. As Rey would hold the saber, she would begin to see terrifying visions of what Luke Skywalker saw during Return of the Jedi and when he defeated his own father, Darth Vader, and severed his hand, where Rey would see a vision of a rear view of Luke Skywalker in a Darth Vader-like suit that would show the fans what Luke saw that scared him to the point of throwing his green lightsaber to the side when facing Palpatine. This would actually be then a follow-up to alternative scenes in which Luke Skywalker was facing Ben Solo in front of the Jedi Training Temple before Luke was knocked unconscious by Ben, and would show Kylo Ren confronting Luke Skywalker's students in front of his Jedi Training Temple, where the scene was said to end with Rey letting go of Luke's saber and witnessing Luke's Force Ghost appearing in front of her, telling her new lessons about the dark side and its power and how he nearly fell to the dark side, as Rey saw in the visions that were shown just before. Now, this scene was cut and reshot to where Luke would only briefly tell a story to Rey about his Jedi training with Leia decades ago on Endor. Now, the thing about this, obviously this was going to be somewhat of a retelling of what actually happened in Return of the Jedi by JJ that was ultimately cancelled and deleted. So originally, what JJ wanted to do was to show the fans what Luke saw when he actually severed his father's hand. Now, obviously, when the movie was made, it was simple. All what Luke saw was how Darth Vader lost a hand and how it reminds himself that he's becoming more and more like his father because he too has a, mechanical hand. So, that was the original take by George and everybody else involved with Return of the Jedi. Now, what J.J. Abrams wanted to do is he wanted to actually give the fans a real reason as to what Luke saw in his mind, and that was a vision of himself as Darth Vader, which was going to be a callback to the original ending by George Lucas for Episode 6. You guys may not recall, but George Lucas actually stated before in the past that one of the original ideas for Return of the Jedi was that Luke would become Darth Vader, putting on his helmet claiming, "And now I am Vader," and he would actually kill Palpatine. So, this was somewhat of a little nod to George's original take on the ending of Episode 6, and how it was going to be transformed into a mere vision of what Luke saw that scared him away, and caused him to throw the saber to the side when facing Palpatine in Episode 6. Not just that, it was also going to give us alternative views of the fight between both Luke and Ben Solo, as well as Ben Solo confronting Luke's Jedi students. So that would have been a very interesting thing to see on the big screen, exactly, what the green lightsaber went through, throughout its entire life, and key moments with Luke Skywalker. Why this was deleted, I don't know. I mean, obviously they wanted to kind of steer clear from this for some reason. I guess it was a little too over the top for fans, or maybe to Kathleen Kennedy, who knows. But to me, I think it would have been a nice little nod, a nice little Easter egg to George's original ending of Return of the Jedi that was going to be transformed into a mirror vision that Rey saw when touching Luke's green lightsaber. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.